They're the best Macca's burgers ever.
Look, I'm really enjoying this evening's games because it always feels like any team could take it.
There was a time in the last game where Bombers were far enough ahead that I just said out loud, "This is over."
You did.
And then 5 minutes later, I said, "This is over."
I know.
It was for Mammoth.
You look like such a fool.
I just don't know anymore, you know? Like, I first of all, while we're going to briefly talk about the game, buy healing cut, ladies and gentlemen at home, because 33 minutes into a game, having a Vladimir and a Yumi on the enemy team, 0 healing cut, they heal a lot.
I heard you shouting that as I walked down the stairs.
I was.
Yeah.
I said it to my own team before the game,
There
just
you
in
go.
passing. I was like, buy healing cut.
Look, there you go. It's just good life advice, I think.
I think so.
Now, Fudge is very lovely.
He is.
He's huge. You know that part where I said, like, I could probably knock him out? I couldn't at all.
Nah.
That man's enormous. Lol Scott Oast, though, in the chat said that last question I gave him about the block, he was like, that was crap. It was like a crap question. Well, I recommend you tune out now, because what we're going to do now is put together an OPL Spotify playlist. We wanted to put together the sounds of the OPL, and we thought that, let's put together some musical stylings that you guys can take home and listen to yourself. And also, we had another segment planned, but Bryce isn't here. So we needed to panic fill, and Pulse came up with something really good.
That's true.
So the way we're going to do this, and by the way, it is from the minds that brought you the OPL, the MPL, and the LCS, come their greatest collaboration yet, the LMS, and that is the League Musical Soundtrack. So the OPL LMS playlist,
Yep.
where each, between the four of us, going to pick 3 songs. We'll sort of just do a round robin and just, go. And then we're each also going to pick a song on behalf of Bryce.
Oh, okay.
To put in as well. So Bryce will have 1 extra song than the rest of us. But, he needs to be represented. He is, I'm contractually obligated to tell you, a part of the team.
And we're going to make it available to all you guys.
We are. We're going to share
This is
it.
for you.
I'm building it live on this computer right here.
Where do you open Spotify?
I got your Spotify's open. I'm ready to go. OPL playlist. It's sitting right there. So, Rusty.
Hey.
Scott of 2014 says Rusty will pick all Josh Groban songs.
Not at all.
All right. Good.
I vaguely know the artist. In fact, I don't think he knows the genre of music I like at all.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised by the genre of music that you like.
What do you think it is?
Well, I know some of the music that
I've
you like.
shared some.
Yeah,
with you,
but that might not be what we're getting. I mean,
No.
the stuff I'm talking about is sort of like covers, sort of like bluesy,
Jazz and
jazzy
funk
covers
covers,
of
yeah.
Okay, song number 1, Rust,
Um,
and it has to be on Spotify.
Bonfire, Childish Gambino.
Oof.
Ooh,
Banger.
definitely on Spotify. Why?
Because it's just the best song. It's also my go-to karaoke song. So whenever you guys see me at karaoke, you don't. Whenever Spawn sees me at karaoke,
don't.
I do this song from start to finish. I know every word. Don't need to look at the screen, which means better performance. Am I right? It's just a big deal.
That's good. The performance is obviously a huge part of the karaoke. Can I admit something?
Yes.
I only know one Childish Gambino song.
What's that?
It's that America song.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
And everyone tells me I should listen to it. What kind of music is it?
He is. Well, depends. Like for Childish Gambino, it depends what year of album you listen to.
Right, okay.
Because now he's gone from like hard rap
Yep.
to more soulful, like bluesy rap.
Okay.
And then there's a This Is America thrown in the middle.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm not so crash hot on the hard rap. That's just never been the kind of thing that I'm into. But the sort of soft bluesy rap, like blues and jazz and that sort of thing, I'm totally.
I would say listen to. Is it called Redbone? What's it called? I think it's Redbone.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, Redbone. That's
in,
for, that's
in
for you
chat,
to listen
people
to.
say Redbone. That's definitely what you should.
Yeah.
We should be putting in there. The first one I listened to though, it's Bonfire, just for you.
Sick.
Jake, song number 1.
Carol Brown, Flight of the Conchords.
Good.
For those that don't know, it is about, Flight of the Conchords about 2 New Zealand chaps, and it's about all his ex-girlfriends.
It is an excellent song. All their songs are really excellent songs.
Bloody terrific.
I mean, you are defined as a human being, I would say, by comedy music and Disney songs.
Correct, but I do have, my last song I think is a banger.
Excellent.
Is your next one also going to be about ex-girlfriends from one of your favorite rappers?
No, it's not, but we'll see.
Pulse. You're a mystery to me. I don't know what you like.
My music taste is all over the place. So my first one's going to be Plastic Love by, I'm going to mispronounce her name, Maria Takeuchi.
Plastic Love?
Yes.
Plastic Love.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. and I've just had it on repeat recently.
I'm
I
guessing-
discovered this song recently. Do you know it, Rick?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That has to be
Yeah.
it.
And
Yep.
it's a song about plastic love, like fake love, going through like, the motion of going to like partying and how it's not like, dancing to like plastic beats and going out and buying like possessions and how it's not real love, it's just plastic.
That's nice.
I like it.
That's very nice. Someone in the chat just pointed out, who is it? Fayray said that, wait, Bryce is in the chat, so he can choose his three songs for
No,
himself.
no, he can't.
I don't think
He's
that's
not
how that
here.
works. Like, you're not on the broadcast.
We have a microphone and you don't.
You can say whatever you want, but it's not going to happen. Also, chat, I'm going to pick 3 songs from you, so just start dumping in there, and we'll add them. My first song that I'm adding in, so I've decided to add 3 songs that each from my main... my 3 different musical taste loves.
Okay.
So the first song I'm adding in is Grand Paradise by Foxing. So this is this comes from like my emo love
Right.
growing up, and Foxing is sort of like a new emo band, and Grand Paradise is just a excellent song. My 2 favorite styles of songs are songs that either have just excellent like chorus, something that you can really sing along with, or songs that really change the musical stylings as they go. That they become, it's almost like 2 or 3 different songs joined together. I love that sort of stuff. So, Grand Paradise by Foxing, song number 1 by Nick Boy. Rusty, song number 2.
Okay, I'll give you 2 options. Actually, just say A or B.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
just give me A or B. Just say A or B.
Give me a B for Bryce.
All right, Toxicity by System of a Down.
Oh, wow. Heavy.
A was Disney.
And you don't want Toxic by Britney Spears?
No, ideally not.
Jake, is that your pick?
Bryce
number 2
might.
pick?
No.
Okay, cool.
Bryce might.
Oh, Bryce might. That's not bad. Why Toxicity?
It was. I've gone real deep into my playlist, right, just to look at assorted music, and all have different genres. But when I was in high school, my mate was in a band. He was like, "This is the hardest drumming aspect at the start of a song ever," and I listened to it, and I just appreciated it more because of that.
Yep.
Once a musician told me how hard it was,
Beautiful.
so I like the song more.
Jake, song number 2 for you.
You Held My Hand, Sammy J.
Some puppet love.
It's a song about... No, this one doesn't have Randy in
Oh,
it.
it doesn't have... Oh, of course. It's just Sammy J.
It's just Sammy J. There's a song about Sammy J sitting on an aeroplane, and they went through turbulence, and a guy next to him grabbed his hand, and then didn't even say goodbye to him at the baggage carousel.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Savage.
Just didn't ignored him. Pretended he doesn't exist after he helped him through the toughest moment of his life. I think it's actually... Sammy J has some really good songs. There's also one about the F word that if I could, I would have put in there, but I assume not appropriate. So
I
I'm
don't
going to
think
go
so.
with You Held My Hand.
Beautiful. Is that a song about you? Were you that guy?
No, I would have said thank you.
You would have. You're a polite boy. Pulse.
I'm going to go with My DeLorean by Time Cop 1983. Yeah, which I'm pretty sure is just a song about Back to the Future, the DeLorean, which is just cool synthwave.
You are such a mystery.
This is
to
gonna
me.
be a
This
weird
is
playlist.
such an eclectic playlist.
I mean, what were you expecting
weird.
from this team?
Okay, my second song, my second musical love is sort of folk, country, sort of like alt rock sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the artist is Need to Breathe, and the song is called "Washed by the Water." They're a super bluesy, folky, amazing rock band, and this album is single-handedly responsible for corrupting my entire Spotify recommendations because Spotify thinks that they are a Christian rock band. So "Washed by the Water," I think, is the song that has sort of triggered Spotify to be like, that must be a song about being baptized. And it is, but not in a Christian way. And now I will listen to that, and then when it ends, it just puts me onto songs where I'm like, oh yeah, this song has a really nice message. And then I realize it's all about Jesus. So I need to do something about that. Rusty, song
Spotify, damn
number
it.
3 for you.
Okay, so again, looking towards different types of genres, I thought I'd mix it up again with this one. This is another, honestly, just karaoke songs. Downtown by Macklemore.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
It's just
That's
such a
fun
good song. Yeah, it's fun. It's great. Everyone loves it.
You know, and it has that thing that I like where it sounds like it's 2 different songs mashed together.
That's true.
There you go. Good film clip as well. Excellent. Jake, your last song. Surprise us, because you've gone for exactly what we expected for the first 2.
Well, I have 2 last songs, and we said we're going to allow veto power. So the first one is 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad by Meatloaf. which would be the song I would sing if there was a competition where they were like, if you don't get every word in a song right, I'm going to kill you. I'd be like, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad by Meatloaf, because I'm pretty confident I can do it. Or Copperhead Road by Steve Earle.
Oh, I'm going Meatloaf. That's where
I'd to the Meatloaf side as much as I like the second song.
I to the Meatloaf side.
I'm actually just a huge fan of Meatloaf in general. Jenna and I really like taking car trips. Yeah. And Meatloaf is the best road trip.
The best road trip because he's got 7 songs and it takes an hour to listen to them.
Exactly.
Richard,
are you okay with the Meatloaf?
Yeah.
So do you know both songs?
No, I only know the Meatloaf song. So by default.
In the words of Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
There you go.
Ship it.
Pulse.
Yeah, and to stay on brand, I have to pick an anime song, so I'm going to go with Styx Helix from Myth and Roid, which is from an anime which, if people watch anime, there's a huge isekai genre, which is like people die in the real world, get transported to like a fancy world, and then they just live out their miraculous lives, and it's all fantastic, but this is from an anime called, as I drop part of my pen, from an anime called ReZero, where the protagonist wakes up and he's basically caught in what is essentially a ever-dying nightmare, and it's like the worst case of Groundhog Day, where he just like dies and comes back. And
what's the name of the
only
song?
To get out. It's called Styx Helix. I can WhatsApp to you.
Yeah, cool. Do that because I can't find it on here, but we will find it. My final song for my third love, it's musicals. Jake might approve for that. This is an incredibly eclectic play mix. This is from the musical Dear Evan Hansen, and it's called Waving Through the Window. Okay. It's a musical about a kid that has social anxiety and don't need to know the plot, but the whole song is about like wanting to be seen, not knowing if you're ever going to not be the outcast. It's a really beautiful song. I reckon it'll resonate with everyone because everyone has felt like that at some point in their life. Waving Through the Window. We need to wrap this up. We need our Bryce picks. Go.
Cool. In the Summertime by Thirsty Merc.
He does not listen to Thirsty Merc.
Exactly. Because he does now.
I was going to go with the Wombats, like Vampires and Wolves.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, because he actually listens to the Wombats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have no idea what Bryce listens to.
What about Under the Sea by,
Under the
from
Sea?
Disney? Because he's under the porcelain sea right now.
That's on brand.
Under the Sea for you then?
I was
Or
going to go
what
like
were you
All
going
Star
for?
by Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
All Star by
right.
Smash Mouth. That's a good one. And then I was going to go with Hot Potato by the Wiggles, just to make him think food right now. And because my Spotify playlist is also corrupted and comes up with all that stuff. So Hot Potato comes in. And then the two I'm picking from the chat, Hakuna Matata from Bo0135.
Yes.
What a wonderful phrase.
Scott, who thought you would pick Josh Groban, Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb. Excellent song.
Great song.
Thank you very much. The chat...
Also, throw the whole of the Book of Mormon soundtrack in there as well.
Put the whole Book of Mormon soundtrack in there, please. The link to the Spotify playlist created live on screen for you guys is there right now. It's also on all our socials. It is time to get into game number 4. It is Legacy versus Avant. It is the final game for the evening. Let's throw it over to the desk and the Macca's Champ select.
Thank you, guys. And let's get into this final game. I feel like every playlist is good for like a certain type of mood, right? For like playing games, when you're going on a road trip, for example. I don't know what this playlist is good for. I think this is like existential crisis.
It is.
Mental breakdown.
Well, the thing is like, I think we had some good songs in there. It would all be about the order.
Yeah.
So if Nick can get the order right, I'm confident in the playlist. But if the order is wrong...
It's like a tasting menu, right? It's like it's a taste breaker for people because there's going to be a lot of stuff here.
But you need some ginger in between.
Right, yeah. What is a good palate cleanser as a song? What's just like very standard?
I don't know, Rainy Mood.
Rainy Mood.
We just put a couple of seconds of white noise in between every song.
Maybe that's the case. Let's get to our final game though. Legacy 1-8 currently not having the best start to the split as we're actually cresting over the midway mark of the OPL. And Avant 6-3 doing very well for themselves. Just below the top of the leaderboard. Up until yesterday, were tied for first. At least Jay is going to be the banouts here, and it will be Karma and Sejuani from Avant. So
that is
really crazy.
So funny that Elise and Jace have been banned away. Because if you remember last time these teams played each other, Paparize didn't have the best time against Elise Jace.
No, he did not.
I think he had a very terrible time, in fact, against it. So this is just Denian saying, you know what, we're going to give him a leg up. They're just going to get rid of the thing that destroyed his life last time, and we're gonna move on with the Legacy versus Avant gaming matchup because it's not going to happen again.
Mordecai is going to be the final ban here as well from Avant. Now, Legacy, obviously we had this conversation yesterday, but did boot camp over the break, and we saw very much different things come out from them. We saw the Rumble come into the top lane, and Legacy, we'll see if they have anything else that's different for us here, because I did like the idea of the Rumble, right? Like, Paparize actually had a very good laning phase into a very difficult matchup, and was able to just clear out mini moves.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what he's back on again. Rumble's one of the best weak side champions in the game. I mean, it's why Swiper's played it for years. It's why it was so important in the LCK for so long.
Yeah.
Buys you the free wave, which really tempo stuffs the other person, to use a PC way of saying it.
Yep.
And I think just a really good Paparize champion. And he won lane against Tally yesterday. Tally, out of everyone, was the person that struggled the most against Legacy.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually really like this pick here for Legacy. Wukong Hover.
Wonder if he's ever going to come back.
Wukong?
Yeah. Wasn't there like a change on the
man.
PvE for him that like had altered a lot of these things? Like his clone actually did stuff in the change and stuff. But then it just never came out.
No, I don't know why. I mean, as it is currently, like his clone has always had the problem for years now, where it just moves slightly.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, obviously that's the clone, because I think it hits the hitbox when it spawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately a binary champion, but very annoying in solo queue. Avant, Aatrox, and Yuumi pickup, very meta, very strong.
I like this out of Legacy, though, because they've gone with Yasuo, who is still very much a Chaz champion, but we've already talked about the flexibility. And I didn't really love the Talon yesterday. And I'll tell you why. Because there's two kinds of balance philosophies in League of Legends.
Yep.
Champions that are balanced around pro play, and champions that are balanced around solo queue. For example, you're very happy for Azir to have a 40% win rate in solo queue, because he's balanced purely around pro play. Ryze is another champion like that, right? Talon must be balanced around solo queue, because he's one of the few champions in the game that actually needs kills to be relevant. If he's not ahead of the curve, he does literally nothing. And he wasn't ahead of the curve last game because Swiffer didn't die to the first gank, and then proceeded to do a whole bunch of not very much for the rest of the game. Something like Yasuo, however, has legitimate side lane pressure and a lot more useful tools, I feel like, than a Talon. Because Talon's jump is good during laning phase against uncoordinated teams, but you know, I talked to Swiffer after the game. He said, my first Klepto proc was a ward. I put it in the middle of the lane and just literally called what side he moved to. And like, so much of the early game was just broken from one ward being achieved from Klepto.
Yeah. And I think there's a good few champions like that, and there's very few that bleed into pro play. You know, I kind of think of like Fizz as well. Fizz, for me, is a champion who needs to get a kill. And you have
Pantheon?
Pantheon. But you do have occasionally those players who are just like, hello, I'm a Fizz one trick. And, you know, I'll just bring it out. LMS shout out there. Yeah, Zillion ban. I mean, Shock just flashed it before swapping to Lucian, and it's kind of like, yeah, we should probably just take that one away, which is fair.
Well, I mean, Aatrox with Zillion just like a whole bunch of headaches to deal with. So
Double revive on Aatrox, no thank you.
I respect Legacy's right to remove Zillion from the server. If Nick can play a champion, it's too strong. That's my rule.
Yep. He's found the calling on Zillion for sure. Let's see. Rek'Sai ban here. And final ban from Legacy is going to be Skarner. Okay, towards the jungle. So we'll see what Avant bring out here now. Still looking for a jungler and potentially a mid laner.
And this is really interesting because Guts' champion pool has been really torn apart here. You know, with Skarner gone, that's one of Guts' better champions as well. But you can't give it to a Yuumi composition, really. You know, Gragas, Rek'Sai, as well as Sejuani. And they're going to take away Jarvan. Yeah. So what does that leave up and available? Not really all that much, to be honest.
Olaf is open if Guts wants it.
Yeah, Guts doesn't really play Olaf all that much. Doesn't play Lee Sin all that much either.
Which is surprising, right? I feel like that's the fallback for a lot of junglers.
Well, he was a big farming jungler, but like I feel like now Olaf is a better farming jungler with a Warrior Black Cleaver build.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was just crappy farming jungler, right? Used to build support items once he'd farmed up. Hecarim available. Hasn't seen much. Xin Zhao. Ooh, that's interesting. He doesn't really take me as a Zim player either.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a farming jungler.
No,
certain, yeah.
A fight-heavy jungler.
That's, I take red buff and gank you at level 2. Yeah, similar in a sense to Jarvan, but yeah, very different playstyle for certain.
Well, Xin Zhao with Halo Blades just whoops Jarvan's backside.
Yes.
It's actually one of the matchups that we used to play, as in Order used to play into Jarvan a lot.
Yeah.
Spooks just runs into him and kills him. And I think actually one of the better champions at disengaging, because Xin Zhao's ultimate's really unique. Like, you can't damage him unless you're within the range.
Correct.
And because it's a very 500 range comp, like he whacks you away, it's going to be very hard to like actually engage onto that.
Yeah, and Irelia, final pick out from Legacy, which has kind of made it all the way through.
But who's going where? Is that an Aurelia bot? Is it a Yasuo bot?
I
do you
would
call
probably
it?
think Yasuo bot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could go kill lane, but I mean, it was on that final pick, which is going to be Veigar here for Shock into the mid lane, sure.
Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day. Veigar Baby Cage,
Yes.
the change to it, now interrupts dashes.
Yeah, you can't dash it.
You can't dash through it. That's a nightmare for Aurelia.
Yeah.
But is it a nightmare for Rumble? Maybe not.
No. Wait. They can just swap this up. Yeah, Yasuo into the bottom lane, Irelia goes into top lane into Aatrox, which is fine, and then mid lane, Rumble, this can play into it.
I still feel like this is a terrible matchup for Rumble, by the way.
Oh, it's not good, but it's not Irelia into Veigar. This is really interesting.
It is interesting. Rusty's just a cheeser.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I respect it, personally.
Of course you do. As a fellow cheeser,
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, only play standard things like Conqueror, Trinity Force, Warrior, Maokai.
Full AP Alistair with Smite bottom lane, walk to enemy blue buff level 1, Smite, challenge, headbutt them away. All the standard stuff.
All the standard stuff.
Yeah.
What, you haven't seen pro players do that lately?
I mean, we're just one game away, you know? But yeah, Veigar into the mid lane. Interesting stuff. And yeah, obviously that will move the Irelia into top lane for Paprise, because obviously we saw him yesterday run the Rumble and it was just clearing out waves constantly, and obviously it also had a very good game on that. So,
but I don't mind this if you are Avant, right? Because when you lock in Rumble for Paprise, you're saying we're going to play away from the Rumble.
yep.
Then Avant obviously draft the way they do. And now the onus is on Legacy to play back towards Paprise. You have to play towards an Aurelia. And this is a tactic that Avant haven't really been able to make work. Legacy haven't been able to make work. So I think that this is actually a pretty good swap for Avant.
Yeah, for sure. And spoilers, Cyclone on the desk from Avant Gaming. How are you?
Hey, doing well, thanks.
Now, talk to us about this Veigar.
He is a sorcerer, and if he's a higher level than
And
you, he'll
Yordle.
one-shot you.
Do you play much TFT?
Oh, I've dabbled, yeah.
You dabbled?
Yeah.
I like your suit.
Thank you.
Suit and T-shirt, however, is a very startup, fundraising kind of get-up.
I'm
What
an
startup
entrepreneurial
would
fellow.
you? Yeah, what startup would you be going with at the moment?
Probably something to do with software and scheduling.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're going to revolutionize the oceanic scrim by selling software scheduling to the 18.
You are closer to the truth than you think.
Well, someone needs to revolutionize it because it's a terrible mess at the moment.
I'm going to give that one a hard agree.
So, did you find it funny that they banned Elise Jace in their first couple of bans, given the way the last game that you guys played against them went, or did you just kind of breeze past that bit and not really pay attention?
There's a couple of explanations for that. I mean, you know, you got to kind of take everything pretty seriously. I think if that's them covering for a weakness, it's kind of hard to know as an outsider. You know, draft is always, you're dealing with maybe about 75% of the information available. The alternative is that there might be stuff that they're picking that they wanted to maybe pick and then didn't. So maybe they even did pick it and we don't know. You know, so it's there's a lot of explanations. I think it's hard to say for sure.
And we've been talking a lot about how close the games have been today, and a week break coming in for all these OPL teams has kind of really, in my opinion, shaken up the way that teams are approaching the game. What did the week break do for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's often the week break can be a bit of a trap because you go, oh, we'll learn something new, and then you forget how to play the game the way that you think that, you know, you'd normally think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can end up, I've been on quite a few teams, we've actually ended up worse after the break because we tried to do something new and then forgot what we had. And then we can't get it back in time and then we drop a couple games. So I think I would attribute yesterday to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Shock by himself is just enough of a wild card? Like, he's always going to bring something different out anyway for the team.
Oh, I mean, well, everyone really. I mean, they're actually, you guys don't get to see all the stuff that we practice with. You only get to see the stuff that we prepared to pull out on
The tip of the
stage,
iceberg, right.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think Shock, for whatever reason, either we make it work better or he makes it work better. We end up picking that stuff more. But it's not something that we specifically count on him for. Yeah, the other guys are innovators as well, for sure.
All right, well, thank you so much for the insight and your time, and best of luck in the game.
Cheers.
And I certainly agree with Cyclone on the innovator thing, because Gunkrab is actually one of the biggest innovators from my experience on this lineup. He's willing to play any 80 carry in so many matchups. And then also they had the Ziggs fast push strategy that he pulled off pretty flawlessly. So I've been impressed by Gunkrab. He's one of those players that came across from the OCS, played 2 games with Tectonic, won them both against Chiefs and Order, then went back down to the OCS when Trance was available for play, and now is like just exploded into the OPL.
Half-Rise. Wow, dodging out of that of the last second in the Infernal Chains as Guts was looking for the gank, but Chippies will still make it out of there.
Did have to use a flash, however, so that's very nicely done. Chaz is farming okay so far in this mid lane, so this lane swap seems to have been working for the Legacy lineup, despite my skepticism, at least for the first 4 levels.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly how the Veigar Rumble matchup typically goes, but I guess we'll learn some in this game.
Rumble's not in TFT either, so I can't even make a funny
True,
joke.
yeah.
And there doesn't need to be any more Yordle, so I'm happy about that. Or robots, because I assume he would be a Yordle. No, he can't be a Yordle robot, because they're both racers.
Right, and also Robot gives you, what, 100% mana at the
Yeah,
start?
so that's what I was going to say. He gets to drop Equalizer at the start. That seems OP.
That would be, yeah, that doesn't seem okay. What else would it be, though? Because he's a brawler, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yordle Brawler.
Yordle Brawler? Maybe, because like Gangplank has 3, but there's 2 classes,
Yeah.
not 2 races. So maybe this
Not
is
just 2.
the first, like, 2 race champion. I would be all for it.
That would be cool, yeah.
Bring it out, right?
Yeah, make it happen. We're the Ideas broadcast.
We are. Well, talking about ideas broadcast, that was my biggest thing that I loved about the old school Monty Dollar broadcast, was all their wacky ideas.
Yeah.
They had some really good ones. So this bottom lane doesn't seem to be working out, however. Not as much of a counter pick as I think they hoped it was going to be with the Yasuo.
Could you imagine an April Fool's where it's like if you just allowed Reddit to just balance the game for the day, or if you just allowed the casters to just balance the game for the day?
Yeah, I think it would be great. Guts looking for Miru here, however. Not going to find him. Yeah, I think like it would go one of 2 ways, because people forget that Reddit is a huge collective, but a lot of hardcore people are on Reddit. So, especially on the like one-trick Reddits and stuff like that, if you split it up amongst this one-trick, it would be okay. Shock
Out of mana and Miru, out of health, but together,
Oh!
they got a baby cage, both of them. In comes Gunkrab from the bottom lane, and he's dragging Yumi with him. Chaz opting to go through the tower because he has the minion wave here, but all the skill shots are landing against the wall, and somehow makes it out alive.
And this is why you need to build Spear of Shojin on your Veigar, because he just did not have the mana to be able to go with it. Yeah.
One shot.
But in saying that, that is a successfully navigated gank. They do, however, lose a lot of priority and give a free reset to the bottom lane. So that CS advantage has completely evened out now for the Yasuo. And he goes back and gets himself the Zeal for free. And, I feel like we're in for another interesting game here.
We are.
What the heck?
Just walks up to the top lane, dives Chippies, who just kills him in return. Teleport coming in from Shock, and will just immediately burst the laner of Irelia and just get the 2-for-1.
That was a strange play. I don't really have that much else to say about that, but there wasn't even a minion wave there, Pulse.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the jungler who walks up to you and he's like, he won't. And he did. He just audacious charges underneath the tower. Great teleport from Shock.
Yep.
Easiest reaction of his life right there.
I mean, good news is it keeps Chippies down. Chippies just lost a full wave of experience, so job well done. But the reason it was strange is because if you get the creeps to tank the first 2 turret shots that you just walked in and copped on the noggin, you don't have to burn the E, which means you just walk off, click Q, auto-attack him once, he dashes, you dash after him, you kill him and you flash out of the turret. You probably live in that scenario, but Guts really had one objective there, and it was
Kill the Aatrox.
kill the Aatrox.
Which he did, to be fair.
And to be fair, because, I gave it to King, he technically got his man. Chippies definitely died, but he got first blood at the same time.
He did, yes. And also from AV, they moved Aatrox to the mid lane to collect the wave that Veigar didn't get. Veigar pushed the tower all the way, or pushed the wave all the way to tower, and now it just bounces back to Chippy. So
Look at
he's
the
in
CS.
not a terrible situation, but yeah, he's now 3 waves behind. Once the minion wave resolves, he'll be 3 minion waves behind. Is translating basically to 200-something gold, because of course he did also pick up the first blood.
Meanwhile, on the top lane, though, Pat Price walks down into Miru, who's just going to finish him off. Goes over to the jungler.
Yeah, really nicely done from Miru there, because he knew that the punish had to come in soon, because as you mentioned, wave bouncing. That's going to be a freeze. Aatrox, no flash, stuck in a long lane, but Guts looking for bottom lane here.
Oh, flashes for it. In comes Chaz into the bottom lane as well, but we're able to quite lock down this bottom lane, the Lucian and the Yuumi.
Deny another wave of CS, however. You can see that meanwhile, Miru's still in topside. Did take a blue buff, so he's going to have mana for the dive. They have nearly both flashes available. Let's see whether they go for this one.
He has already used Cataclysm of No on the last gank.
Okay.
Yeah, actually looking towards mid lane with double buff here. Cut from the baby cage. Yeah, able to dodge that one out there. And yeah, it looks like Jarvan is just going to continue counter jungling. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, blue buff is being contested here by Guts, but seems like the bot lane by itself here from AV is able to do enough, but they do need to return to the wave at some point.
Yeah, certainly do. Generally preferred. I mean, you technically don't have to return to waves, but it certainly can hurt.
You don't
your
have
game
to
if you
do
don't.
anything in video games, technically.
Did you play Final Fantasy IX?
9, I didn't, but I'm told by many people it's a race between that and 7, which people claim is the best.
Yeah, so I've always been on the
A
9
9
hype
person?
train. Yeah. But, there was a character in it called Vivi.
Which is Vega.
I'm not going to say that.
Inspired by.
Inspired by it, maybe. But a really cool character, and has always meant that I had a very soft spot in my heart for the little master in the mid lane. He also has some of the best lines in the game.
Oh, Vega?
Yeah.
He also only has 5.
He's one of the people that
you
still
hit him a lot.
talk to you. And like he just sits there and hurls insults at you like the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that's back from when we had... Well, I mean, Sonus have been, like, semi-redacted now, I think, from League lore, right? Because it used to be the Institute of
War or whatever.
Yeah. And used to be a summoner who was bringing these champions to fight often political battles.
Yes,
to
because they were too
resolve
powerful,
situations.
the factions. So they didn't want like an Armageddon type scenario. So instead you would elect a champion that would represent your region.
Right. And I think that was birthed off the whole like Noxus invading Ionia.
Yeah.
But now the lore is in a weird place. It's being rebuilt, and I will say that the lore team doing fantastic job, by the way. If you've seen any of the short stories coming out for the Shadow Hours, for example, really, really cool.
Are they still, is the lore team still led by a Kiwi? Because when I did D2, he was.
Yeah.
And he was a really cool guy. I can't remember his name, but I agree. Because I'm one of the, like, even though I don't seem like it because I play video games like really hardcore, lore means a lot to me.
Yeah.
When the lore of World of Warcraft went downhill, it really like broke me. And then when they revamped that well, it like really like rebirthed a lot of my faith in the game. And it's one of the things that like I'm really happy that now League of Legends is starting to get some really cool lore.
Well, it's emerging into a universe, right? Like,
Yeah.
you want to feel like what you're doing is important in some way in the universe in which you're playing, right?
Well, it helps me pick champions. Like, to put
Yeah.
it really plainly, because, like, I really like storylines of champions, and I like to be able to, like, sympathize. Because I'm a big, like, science fantasy fiction reader. Oh,
Just going to chuck out the ultimate there. Primordial Burst. Was blocked by the Scrap Shield for the most part, but, you know, this is Vhagar. He'll get to a certain point where he'll just pop you.
yeah, and it's now an execute as opposed to your AP counts against you kind of scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Vhagar's going through a lot of different iterations of the ultimate, to be fair. So, we've got a bit of a stare down in the bottom lane. Ooh, popping the ultimate there as Chaz is trying to rotate towards his bottom lane. Flag, drag, knocked up. Throws out the equalizer, but in comes everybody on top of that, though. Miru is going to fall 1 for 1, but look at these low health bars. Can't quite finish him up, though. Gunkrab looking for the cleanup, and he's going to die as well. Double kill coming in for the Rumble Shock, flashing the wall. Aladark coming in as well, but still going to get the knock up. And that could have gone so disastrously wrong, but Legacy somehow pull out the 4 kills.
They certainly do. And Chaz and Crazy have like 150 health between them. Like, that was so close to being like complete wipe in the bottom lane. But Praetus Windwall saved both of their life. And then just the smooth mechanics of Mark in the bottom lane to match the Balenciagas on his feet.
Oh my god.
Like,
See
let's
that one
take another
again.
look at this again. So this is Avant going very aggressive. This is what they're known for. But great layering of abilities there. Chaz able to get the equalizer down and just dashes in. And then able to put down the wind wall there. And nothing can really get through to just do the last bit of damage, unfortunately. And just a predictive flash. Why not? Why not, Praetor?
Let's just go for it. I was so sad for the Lucian. Because he was just CC'd, and that's literally a passive double tap from getting 2 kills. You know, that's like the golden moment for a Lucian. But in the end, Legacy, by the skin of their teeth, and some pretty good mechanical play to boot as well. 4 for 4 now in kills, leading the game. Chaz, now caught in the baby cage, and can't really dodge the flag and drag. But here comes the bottom lane to try and save him. Miru, that gank just goes sideways. Teleport coming in out from AV, disengaged by Guts. And reverse challenge. And that's completely averted the crisis.
Yeah, it certainly has. And I mean, I talked about, you know, the bottom lane not going great for Legacy and maybe not being a counter pick. Well, he's 30 CS up now and nearly taken bottom lane turret on a Yasuo. And that all started with the rotation from Gunkrab and Aladoric to save Shock under the mid lane turret. That's what gave the free reset, the full wave being shoved in underneath it. Equalized about a 10 CS deficit. And now Praedyth with that kill with the assist is in a situation where he can straight up carry this game. No one's going to be able to go with him in a side lane. And I think his team fight is also going to be really damn scary, especially if he blocks a Veigar ult. Like, that's so much of the damage just gone on the lineup. Yeah,
I mean, Veigar ultimate, a projectile. It's not laser. It can be blocked. So there's a theoretical. This is a theoretical game where, you know, the Yasuo pick by virtue of just being Yasuo with the Windwall can block so much damage. Quite in the bottom lane, but Shelly comes in, knocks down the tower. First tower of the game, in fact, and Legacy are just really increasing this advantage they have. Also keep in mind, 2 kills went over to the Rumble, who was not only survived laning phase, but doing very well. Has basically his core build here of the double pen items. So going to be very strong in this next skirmish, wherever it may be. Dragon is up. It is an is a Cloud Dragon. So AV probably not going to contest it. Did manage to get the first Infernal, but I'd say as games go, Legacy quite poised for a quite good game.
And I think their scaling's just really good this game, right? This isn't what we're used to seeing out of Legacy. They normally have to prioritize early game champions a little bit harder than maybe you would like, just because it has been an area that they've had to work on for a very long time now and self-recognize. So, you know, this is probably their best early game against, I keep saying this, I think Avant are the best early game team.
Yeah.
And Cyclone mentioned in his interview maybe they went a little bit backwards after the break. I hope that's not so. Chaz.
Oh, the equalizer in the perfect position. Almost just kills Shock by itself. Following through the Brawl ultimate, sidestep by Shock right there, but now he's just got to stay well behind the turret. Throws out the baby cage, and this is the power of Veigar right here. Stalls out the entire wave, but still. Legacy just moving around as a gank unit.
But this is everyone coming in from Avant to contest this dragon, and Shock does have teleport. Here we go.
It started off by the bottom lane. Yuumi throws out the root, and Crazy blocks the entire culling. Teleports coming down from both teams. Shock rejoins the fight. Paprise immediately flashes out, does not want to be caught in that.
Yeah, that was a little bit sloppy from Paprise there. Probably should have just been able to walk out of that one. Wanted the ward instead, didn't get either, and had to use that flash, which means now they probably can't contest this dragon. They will, however, be able to pick up a fat wave top lane.
Oh my, baby cage once again. Crazy blocks the second half of that damage. As that was not primordial, that was actually just a Q from Shock, so he's definitely stacking on up. And AV do manage to secure the dragon here, so despite Legacy having the very much strong skirmish, already used some of those big ultimates. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, 1v1, nope, disengaged from.
And this is what Paprise needs to keep doing. I feel like he is now playing the ultimate weak side Aurelia, which doesn't really exist in many compositions, but probably needs to in this one, because you can see that the Yasuo is 40 CS up. Going to go back, probably going to grab himself an Infinity Edge, or at least most of it. And they should just start trying to flex Praedyth around the map. And then that pressure should allow Paprise to do this. Catch waves very, very nicely underneath turrets. And that is just an outright Infinity Edge. He's an Infinity Edge ahead. Can we take a look at the 80 carries gold, please, observers? He's 2,100 gold up.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big Yasuo. It's a very big Yasuo, and we're just looking at spikes across the board, you know, like Rumble's in a great spot, Yasuo's in a great spot. Okay. Set up for the Yasuo as well.
He nearly has as much gold as the Avant bottom lane.
Combined. Yeah.
That's insane.
And now Legacy, we need to see them close out the game, you know? Like, they're in the perfect position. They have the shot lined up.
That's a good point, right? Because Legacy last split got consistently better, and then started closing out games like this.
Right.
They were the team that if you gave them a lead, they've only beaten Order this split. And yeah, he's going to be a gank down here.
Duet comes through, but it's before the three-man collapse is coming in. Yeah, there's the cage thrown out into Abyssal Chains, and yeah, with the rest of it, unable to do too much about that one. We cleared out on the bottom side with the minion wave coming in. Looks like this will be AV just taking the bottom tower. What's Legacy doing? Got Yasuo split pushing. And pushing to the top jungle, completely clearing out this red buff. So Legacy will be able to get something on the top side, but yeah, AV strike back with a tower of their own. But Yasuo's now pushing onto inner turrets, so...
Yeah. And this is the thing, right? We always talk about this with split push, but it becomes a race against time. Because Yasuo already had the wave there because no one can contest it. And then he gets to hit it, like, uncontested, because no one can go near him 1v1 because you've already sent 3 people bottom lane.
Right.
So yes, you technically win, you trade up, you get yourself a kill as well as a turret and a couple of assists, but all the money went onto Yasuo solo. So you're making your team stronger, whilst they're just making Yasuo a one-man wrecking crew.
Yep. And
he's got himself 2 items and upgraded boots at 19 minutes into this game. And eventually what's going to happen is Kratos just going to get sick of, you know, Paparize dying in the bottom lane. He's going to say, don't worry about it. This one's on me. You're going to try and send 2 people to kill the Yasuo instead, and he's going to bop you both.
Yeah, the AD carry becomes the side laner.
Yes.
So it becomes a big problem. For now, kind of slowed the game down just a little bit. Dragon spawning in 2.5 minutes from now. And AV, will they have the ability to come back into the game? Because I feel like AV, yes, they had a very explosive and strong start to the split, but they've started to drop games here and there now. And this is almost like the perfect time, you know, like the stars aligning for Legacy to potentially take their first game in a long while in this one.
I think it was, you know, week 2 or 3.
For their 1 win.
Yeah.
Yep. It was before I came, so it would have been week 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Actually, it might even have been week 1, to be honest. Because
Yeah.
I think Order went 1-1 week 1. Took down Bombers, lost to Legacy, I think it was.
Yeah.
If anyone should know that, it should be me. But I don't.
Yeah, I arrived and it was in the midst of Legacy on just a straight lose streak. So this could be the time. And if there's any time, because as we said, this is us getting into the second half of the split now. You know, like if you don't come back now, it's literally the window is closing.
Oh, here we go.
Flash forwards, Guts jumps over the baby cage, but it's a good route coming in from the Yuumi. Basically disengages that entire play there from Legacy.
Yeah, and a couple of flashes used there, whereas it was just the flash of shock used. So very nicely done. And I feel like Vieg has done a really good job in this composition to shut down a lot of what the Legacy lineup needs to do. A couple of times where it's looked like certain catches are going to be available. He's just put down that very long duration stun and zoned them away from the area.
Yep, Event Horizon, hella reliability. And Legacy needs a solution. It's definitely very difficult to fight it in the jungle, in any choke point, because it basically just plugs up an entire choke point for a very long time. That being said, Rumble also great in those situations. Right now it's a bit of an hour, and Paparize just found himself in the side lane. And Chaz slowed down, put into the Event Horizon, but Windwall literally just stops everything.
Hell of an ability, Pulse. For a non-ultimate?
Yep.
Like, who thought that that wasn't an ultimate?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Yasuo used to have even more, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Emax Yasuo used to be a thing, and even shaving all of that off, Yasuo is still super strong into the bottom lane. 1v1, walking it out. W there, Paparize returning with the Vanguard's Edge, but really just doesn't have the damage unless he's dancing to the minions. Didn't have the passive stacked up either. Duet dodged out there by Chippies as well, following through. Guts is coming to his bottom lane, turning into a 2 versus 1. It's about to be Chippies versus the world, but he's already on his side of the map, so he simply just walks away.
So instead it's just a flash for a flash drag, and control going to be gained, and Shock going to grab himself the top lane turret. Is overall, once again, I think a win for Avant Gaming, because you can see that Chippies just outright wins that 1v1 despite the 20 CS lead for Paparize, and need to be able to navigate some better lane setups here, I feel, if they're going to be able to get control of this map.
Creative stepping up. And how close are we to Praetor to splitting off to a side lane, like versus the Aatrox?
I thought it would have happened, to be honest. Like, he is up significant gold over everyone. He's up 3,000 gold over his lane opponent, right?
1,000 gold over the Aatrox.
Yeah, so his team is down. Like, every other position is down gold, right, apart from the support and the AD carry. So I thought it would have been the time to send him to the top lane, you know, just park Chaz mid lane with the support and just be able to clear out the waves there. But it hasn't been to be yet.
Crazy looking for the 1 for 2 special, but finds neither. Still hunting. Anything's a knock up for Praetor. Way into a fight. Once again, we find ourselves in a bit of an ARAM situation in the mid lane.
where Shock is quite happy as a Veigar. Anytime he can just have waves bouncing to him, means he can just bomb all of this. You can see everything going into his Q here.
And they need to do a really good job here of controlling vision over the Baron, because I feel like if you can't penetrate this mid lane turret, then you have to be able to force them to come to the Baron, which just means vision control. If you can't get things like the Scuttle Crab, if you can't ward that rush on the back of red buff and be able to maintain the vision, then you're just going to continue to bounce waves, and eventually someone's going to get caught by Shock. He's got the spooky ghost now coming out, probably going towards a death cap. And if it doesn't get wind wall, it will even kill Praetor right at this stage of the game. He's just got that much AP. So I think that is starting to become a little bit more dire. You know, that's a 500 AP Veigar without being able to pick up a death cap yet.
Yeah, no multiplier on that.
Yeah.
So, yes, this Veigar is one item away basically from being very, very big. And yeah, a game like this where he's able to collect so many waves, you can see 226 farm at 24 minutes is huge. You can see the majority of that would have been on the Q as well. So stacking up the AP, this is easily like a 1000 AP game for Veigar. You know?
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't go, like they saw Shock going bottom side then. The fact that they didn't go towards Baron and try and at least burn one of the teleports, a little bit strange to me.
Tossing out skill shots. Spookies comes across. Page, follow up as well. Primordial, but good old wind wall out from Praetor. There seems like a lot of just defense and stopping people from dying here from Legacy. I mean, this is the second time in a row it's happened in mid lane, just the other side of the mid lane.
Yeah,
Not a whole lot of making things happen.
Go to Baron right now. You've just got complete control of mid lane. You can ward the choke as it comes in. You've brought over Aurelia already. You're going to have people there. They do it so damn quickly. Blue Orb is going to be out. I would be hitting the Baron.
Yeah, Blue Trinket comes down. There's a Rumble ultimate into the jungle, but it's onto Shock, who will be able to walk it off, and Yuumi just jumps onto the Veigar. Enough over the wall. Once again, win wall. Comes up, blocks the skill shots, but AV, it feels like this game is slowly slipping away from Legacy.
And they're not learning that they can't walk into AV. AV has to walk into them. Otherwise, the Veigar Event Horizon is just way too much of a powerful ability. And we can see that they peeled off the objective. They tried to walk back towards them. Shock tagged like 2 of them in the Event Horizon, just calls the whole game off. You know, we're not seeing enough Merc Treads out. That was the old rule against Veigar. You have to be able to pick up the Merc Treads, otherwise it guarantees the W. This is just starting to become one of those drawn-out, protracted games that I feel like scaling going to become a very real issue here for Legacy.
Yeah, we're approaching one-shot territory for that Veigar. And everyone's just farming, you know, like even the difficult lanes that a lot of these people had for AV are just starting to basically become null and void. And Legacy pretty much just back to the same old tricks, to be honest. Send Paprise to a side lane, go back towards the Baron, kind of dance around the mid lane. Wait for AV to Event Horizon them again. Someone almost gets nuked. Doesn't happen because of wind wall. Rinse and repeat. That's the game. Shock and Chippies, though, moving towards the bottom lane. They want to kind of combo break this one, but Pat Price will back on off.
Yeah, no Spooky Ghosts available there, but you can see not really all that much vision control gained. There is still a ward on the back of red buff. There is one in that side lane mid brush as well. They did use the time instead to just reset and try and get back on the map as fast as possible. But they need more control wards. They've only got 4 of them. Like, this needs to be a multi-step process of pushing them back and making Avant come to the Baron. Because they're not playing 3 lanes, they're only playing 2 at this stage. And it's just becoming a very touch-and-go scenario. Another dragon coming up, that's 20 seconds. That's a much easier objective to force around. So could be much more worthwhile for the Legacy lineup. And it looks like that's what they're going to settle for instead.
Yeah, to get you in the track here, we'll be towards the dragon first, moving towards this mid lane. Once again, Event Horizon, Crazy brings up the shield, Chippy off to the side. And Legacy trying to rotate back into this mid lane, going to take a lot of damage as Shock just brings down the hammer. Guts trapped in place, will have to flash away from this one. Culling comes across as well, and Legacy literally just from having control over Dragon, then trying to go the greedy route back into mid lane. Will get caught again. Veigar comes down and is doing so much damage.
And they're just walking into the Event Horizon pulse. They're just like, this looks like fun. There's sparkles and Christmas decorations.
Yep. Looks like
Gather
a good
around,
time.
children.
It's not a good time. Oh my lord.
Just gave over a second Infernal Dragon, and they still have an 80 carry that is 60 CS and about 4,000 gold up. Like, there's just no contesting how strong Praetor is at the moment. But if they keep grouping like this and not forcing objectives, you can't fight, you can't really farm, and Shock's just becoming a problem.
Yes, he is. And I believe after this camp here, he should have enough gold for Death Cap. And this Veigar legitimately will be one-shotting people.
Yeah, all of a sudden the W becomes just like a significant problem because
Actual meteor. Yep, there you go. Death Cap.
because the way the cooldown on the W works is like your AP or like how many creep AP or like something like that you have. It's like a really weird scaling system. It gets down to like 3 seconds with 40% cooldown.
Yeah, not even. Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those ridiculous abilities. It's a legacy ability, like the Cho'Gath screen. Like if you put that on a new champion, people are like, "Come on, right? You're
This
crazy."
is absurd.
AOE silence,
Yep.
like 3 seconds AOE nuke that rains from the sky. Like that's not fair.
Yeah, and these are after changes as well into Veigar. You know, a lot of these legacy champions, just have crazy abilities. It's just relics of an ancient time. You think back to like, I mean, Sion is not that long since he was remade. A couple seasons now, but like, it was 1-to-1 AP ratios on 2 abilities for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, Alistair was over 1-to-1.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think season 1, Suche, Alistair. This year's champion with Gragas. Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
Gragas was
times.
like 1.3 or something on his
It was
cast.
something stupid. Yeah, because if you look at ratios, I think for the longest time, Xerath had the highest ratio of 3.3 throughout his entire kit. And now I think it's more normalized between mid laners. But yeah, balance has changed a lot over the years. And when you have, something like 150 champions now, there's a lot to balance. It's one big balancing act.
Yeah, the fact that all of the champions are pretty unique, it's kind of amazing when you think about it. But what isn't unique is the fact that it looks like Chaz may be caught out here.
What a segue, Jack. Yeah, flash over the event horizon. And in comes... Oh!
Why didn't he just ulti him?
To be honest, I don't think he knew that the meteor was going to do that much damage. Because that was 55%, maybe 60% of his AP.
Alright, this is a big problem now because every summoner spell is up and available for Avant. And they've whittled away a couple of flashes, Things are starting to get a little bit dire. They have complete control over this Baron area. There's going to have to be a face check. This is real scary for Legacy
to
fans.
face check into this.
No way. Braum's going,
You
if
danger
anyone.
pay. Uh-oh. Slow down.
Yuumi does too much damage.
Yeah. I mean, you need to
That's
a lot
too
of things
cute.
too much, to be honest.
That's too cute. That's way too much damage out of the support.
It's undodgeable.
I'm surprised Praedyth hasn't just been like, I'm going.
Praedyth? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, right now I'm just holding my breath and I'm clenching.
Oh, here we go.
Crazy, looking for the engage. That's a good Rumble ultimate, but Gunkrab makes it over the wall, and the engage just kind of goes nowhere. Chippy's also rises to the play, and Legacy, they've burnt the Rumble ultimate, Crazy's ultimate, a flash on the Braum as well.
And they got nothing for it. They got a teleport. Looked like that was actually going to be the window. Looked like the Braum ultimate might have registered there, but a very nice dash from Gunkrab to get himself out of dodge. And yeah, they're just going to continue to force around this Baron area. Is there a blue orb? No, there's not. So once again, it has to be a face check, this time without the equalizer.
Into total fog of war.
Oh,
Right into 5 members of AV who just obliterate the front line, and they're just getting run down right now, Legacy. All trapped in the pit. Chippies brings out
here
the
we
Q,
go.
But the turnaround damage, Guts leading the charge from Praedyth, now going off, shut down by the Veigar. And that will be a 4 for 2 in the end. Yasuo able to do some work, but AV still coming out on top.
and it looks so promising for Praedyth there. He finally got the ultimate he was looking for, but it was the face check. It was the instant damage and just every carry going in from the Avant Gaming lineup. Coordination was there. Paprice wants to try and stop this. I don't think he can.
No, and he's slowed now, so we'll get hit by all of the CC. Gunkrab stepping forwards though. This is a little bit scary. But yeah, has the slowdown onto Paprice, forces the flash over the wall. At the very least, this would be AV just disengaging from the Baron. So yeah, they get the shutdown onto Paprise right there. But does manage to avert the Baron. This is actually 2 days in a row where Paprise arrives at the Baron, martyrs, and stops the Baron from happening.
It certainly is, and there's going to be another Infernal Dragon up in 18 seconds. So he probably cost his team that did delay the Baron going down. And this looked really good for AV, but as soon as the knock-up went through onto the back end of the team fight, that's a 3-man Yasuo ultimate. I thought he might have done it, but you can just see Gunkrab still does a lot of damage, still is a Lucian, and able to carry out the end of the fight, even though the very fed Veigar fell down.
Yep. Kills the Veigar, but yeah, Veigar's really annoying though, because like once he gets his initial burst off, it's just like, well, and my job is done. Maybe you'll get like a second event horizon out, like you'll continue the damage with W's, but when you pop your target, you're like, all right.
looking good. Triple Infernal, by the way, for AV.
With a Vega.
Yeah, I was going to
with a
say,
death
if
cap.
we're trying to break AP stats, I wonder what the, because we have like the highest amount of farm in a game. Like, I wonder what the highest amount of AP a Vega has ever managed to get in competitive play.
Well, Froggen used to play Vega as well, so I feel like it probably is a Froggen game.
Yeah.
And I feel like he would have taken Raptor Camp.
I mean,
from
he
like
also
level
had the
2.
record for farm as well, as we get Guts looking for the engage right here. Double knock up into the front line. They take down Shock to begin the fight. Chaz in the back line getting swept up by Chippies. And now Guts trying to survive this onslaught on the front line, but wall drop, and now the front line's dead. Everybody is getting run over.
You can just see Avant right now, too far ahead. The triple Infernal Dragons, as you already mentioned, even with one pick coming across, the rest of the damage just not going to be there for Legacy. And this game has honestly, it's been a little bit tragic for the Legacy lineup, because it looked like, once again, they had, kind of like the Gravitas game yesterday. One of these bottom of the table teams have so much rolling, but they just hit a speed hump. They can't find the initiative to make plays, and now the class of Avant just coming out and showing and, starting to hit back and win these team fights.
Yeah. And it felt like one of those games that maybe this Yasuo just becomes massive, just is one of those games where he just wins every single fight, but not going to be the case. Paparazzin's 1v1 underneath his own tower, duet through. It's actually a 2v1. Yumi was here as well. Throws out the ultimate, getting chased down. But here comes the rest of the team, though. Chippies will get shut down by the Braum, a 1-for-1 in the top lane.
Yeah, that's 1-for-1, and, Chippies is 7-2, so technically winning fight there for Legacy. 1,000 gold onto Braum, not really all that useful at this stage of the game, however. Baron probably needs to be on the cards. If Legacy can't get a Baron here, we've already said it, their back's against the wall. The fact that they're still 3,000 gold up on their 80 carry and 5,000 gold down is so disastrous. That's the damage that Praetor can do. Shock didn't stand a chance, but in the back line, look at how much work Chippies is getting done. Look at the positioning of Gunkrab, always being able to dash forward after that initial culling. And it just shows that there are too many dangerous members on this Avant gaming lineup. We talked about the Vega a lot because it's a fun pick, but still can't underestimate, the Lucian and the things like the Aatrox in these team fights.
Yeah, it adds up, and as you said, the flank was very big there. 4 items and a half, Chippies right now, 7, 2, and 5. Oh, very much a big Aatrox.
Pretty disgusting build when you look at it as well.
Yeah, and you think about the multiplier he's also got from Infernal. We're talking about AP on Vega. Talking about AD from the Aatrox.
Yeah, this is very much your press R and you headbutt your keyboard a couple of times for Chippies.
I think he's probably got like 400 AD right now. It's not great. Do you think of Jin when you think about huge AD numbers?
Well, I mean, if the Lucian has 300 AD, the Aatrox definitely has 400 plus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lucian's got 334.
Starting to catch up in items as well now. Only half an item behind after all the gold has started to trickle across. 4, 1, and 5. That's a great sign from Gunkrab as well. As a young carry to fall behind early, but then just stick at the game, not die over and over, and kind of grind this one out and get back to a very relevant state in the game. Actually, he's carried the last 2 team fights, in my opinion.
For sure.
Just very, very well done.
Remaining relevant. Now more than relevant. Everybody stack into a brush from AV, and Legacy in the mid lane. If AV just charges this one, they can make this gauge happen. I think Miru was looking for it, but they're actually just going to move through the brush. Chaz walks up to the brush, and Villain chains onto 3 right there. Miru jumps into the back line, and front to back, just getting murdered. Shocked in a 1v1 against Paprise in the back line, but the rest of the team says, hands off the Vega, we'll take you down. Double kill comes in for the mid laner. Crazy, the last one remaining. Brings up the shield, brings up the door, but goes down. 5 kills over to AV.
Yeah, and that's really nicely played from Avant. They had complete vision control. They were standing in an unorthodox area. Once again, a good flank to start off the fight. They wipe the floor, they push in, they'll end the game.
As simple as that. A long time coming, but AV resilient out from this lineup. We're just able to absorb all of that pressure that Legacy had, all of that momentum, all of that initiative, and just turn the game around. 37 minutes, and AV will finish off the final game of Week 5.
But the signs were good from Legacy early.
Oh, yeah.
I like the flex, and I like the fact that they were able to play Yasuo, and you can see that Praetor's certainly very comfortable on the champion, is a former top laner. And once again, I just sing the praise of Avant, because this is a game where they didn't win off a snowball, they didn't win off an orthodox composition. They really ground them out, and they really put them to kind of the slow, methodical pace and just kind of beat them down, honestly.
I would say Mammoth-esque, to be honest, off the back of also a Mammoth game. It was a very similar game, to be honest. Absorb and counterpunch, and
yeah, it was just a good performance.
And I
coming
feel
out
like the
from,
meta's
AV.
really changed in the 2-week break, right?
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like
It's a
the
different OPL.
the League of Legends that we're seeing right now is way different to the League of Legends we were seeing, in week number 4. And I wonder whether now with a week of scrims and, the pick back up into it, whether it does slowly go back towards the other way. Because really only Chiefs continued like the snowball, like on game. Everyone else kind of went back to a little bit more meatball-y and a little bit more grindy League of Legends. And it's been a couple of long days and a lot of very close games because of the style, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think overall, though, from the results today, there was not a huge amount of surprises. I think like the first game was really the most that could be like back and forth. Either game would pick up.
I think that was exactly the game you expected, right? Either Order or Direwolves could run it, and then Direwolves just ran over the top again in the end, right? But I think that was one of those games where like the early game kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go, and then Direwolves just way too good on the day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it from us here at the casting desk for week 5, and we're going to send it back over to the couch for a player interview.
Thank you very much, Shock. Congratulations. How are you
Thanks.
feeling?
Mixed feelings, actually.
That's what everyone says
yeah.
about today. Everyone is coming in here going like, whew, I don't know, that one was a roughie at the beginning.
Yeah, we won, but it wasn't as clean as I would have liked.
Yeah. What do you think happened there at the beginning? Because it was touch and go with Legacy there for a while.
Yeah, I think they drafted actually really well, I think, and it made us kind of not a little, I guess, uncertain about like how to play the early game out, and I think that's what they got the early advantages. So yeah, I think that's just what happened.
Okay, so it was really good that you won the game and everything. Give me them zillion tips.
Zillion tips.
Because I don't know if you've been watching the MPL, which is on after. You're probably not because you're going home and doing important things with your life. But after the broadcast, we always play League. I realized that I'm actually really good at Zillion, and I really like playing Zillion. What do I need to know to take me next level?
I'd say the main thing that separates the like good Zillions from the great Zillions is setting up double bombs on minions.
Yeah.
Because you can put, if you throw a bomb on a minion and throw another one, it'll blow up around it, and you can use it to one-shot people that don't expect it.
See, I was never putting double bombs on minions because I was worried that Bryce would yell at me like, "Why are you using your abilities on the wave? Like, you just focus it because he's a harsh mistress."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Okay. And what's the top tier skin? Because there's only 3 that are available for purchase, and all of them are, like, in my opinion, pretty rubbish.
I think Blood Moon is probably the best. I actually think it has a better auto animation. So
Yeah.
it makes CSing easier.
I mean, to be fair, I'm only looking at the splash art. Do you have Santa?
I don't.
Oh, Santa looks good.
I never tried it.
Okay, so Blood Moon, you reckon's key?
Yeah, I think that's the
might have to
best.
buy Blood Moon because I need to look professional on this. Finally, why have you never brought me a Maxi Bond?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yes, it is.
You've never asked.
I didn't think I had to.
You have to, I'm afraid.
Can you bring me a Maxi Bond?
Yeah, I can
next
get
week?
you one next time. What's your favorite flavor?
All of them.
You're not getting all of them.
Cookies and cream?
Okay.
Yes! This is the kind of power that I flex here at the OPL. Congratulations on the win. Hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you.
With a Maxi Bond. We'll be back after this short break.
I feel like we're in for another interesting game here.
We are.
What the heck?
Just walks up to the top lane, dives Chippies, who just kills him in return. Teleport coming in from Shock, and will just immediately burst. Ooh, popping the ultimate there as Chaz is trying to rotate towards his bottom lane. Flag, drag, knocked up. Throws out the equalizer, but in comes everybody on top of that, though. Miro is going to fall 1-for-1, but look at these low health bars. Can't quite finish him up, though. Gunkrab looking for the cleanup, and he's going to die as well. Double kill coming in for the Rumble. Shock flashing the wall. Aladark coming in as well, but still going to get the knock-up. Into total fog of war. Oh, right into 5 members of AV who just obliterate the front line, and they're just getting run down right now, Legacy. All traps in the pit. Chippies brings out
here we
Q,
go.
but the turnaround damage, Guts leading the charge of Fadif, now going off, shut down by the Veigar for it, but they're actually just going to move through the brush. Chaz walks up to the brush, and Fern chains onto 3 right there. Miro jumps into the back line, and front to back, just getting murdered. Shock in a 1v1 against Paprise in the back line, but the rest of the team says, hands off the Veigar, we'll take you down. Double kill comes in for the mid laner. Crazy, the last one remaining. Brings up the shield, brings up the door, but goes down. 5 kills over to AV. As simple as that. A long time coming for AV. resilient out from this lineup. We're just able to absorb all of that pressure that Legacy had, all of that momentum, all of that initiative, and just turn the game around. 37 minutes, and AV will finish off the final game of Week 5.
At Macca's, our burgers are now hotter, juicier, and tastier, with onions added at the grill for more flavour, perfectly melted cheese, and softer buns. They're the best Macca's burgers ever.
You make sure he brings that Maxi Bond.
I can't promise anything. I'm not at their house.
Don't make a liar of your boy. Well done to AV. A very good victory there. I really love tonight that we've got a bunch of players coming in here, and they're all like, I'm shook from that game. That was not what I was expecting. Makes for good viewing.
It does, and there's also a mindset that needs to be appreciated from the players as well. You know, and Shock is the perfect example of it. So he's super self-critical. Like he'll come back off a win, like when we just beat Mammoth the first time this split, everyone's like, woo, let's go to dinner. He's going home to watch the VOD because he didn't think he played well. You know, like he's just so hungry to be better. And I think that's like everyone that's come in here has won today.
Yeah.
And they're all like,
Totally, yeah. It's good inspiration. We're halfway through the split. You know, you need that re-energizing. So maybe this is the thing that kicks every team over the edge to try their hardest as we head towards the end of the split. Of course, let's take a look at the results from today because there were 4 games and they were all pretty close in one way or another. Order could not take it to Direwolves, and Direwolves take the victory for game number 1. Gravitas fall to the Chiefs for game 2. Bombers cannot beat Mammoth in game number 3, and Legacy cannot come up against Avant, and it looks like top side of the map winning all 4 games.
Yeah, certainly felt like that. Also felt like whoever got the early lead actually struggled in the mid game, and the other team kind of came back and took the victory off them. So it's a really weird matchup. I would say Chiefs being the exception because they've just had a stellar week for themselves, and I was impressed by them a lot.
And there have been some shakeups to the standings. Let's take a look at where everything is at the moment. Mammoth, top of the table, tied with Chiefs at rank 1. AV coming in at 3. Bombers at 5th. I don't know why that's that way around. Direwolves rank 4. That's just a graphical error. So Direwolves rank 4. Bombers rank 5th. It's flipped. Order coming in there at number 6. Gravitas and Legacy rounding out the bottom of the table. For your next week's set of games, we got them all. 2 nights of them. The first night is Avant versus Order game number 1. The Chiefs versus Bombers for game 2. Mammoth go up against Legacy, and Direwolves take on Gravitas for game 4. But if you can't get enough League of Legends action, if you need more league action, even more than the MPL, which is about to come up, then you need to head to the Smash convention tomorrow here in Sydney. That's the manga and anime show powered by M-Wave, because Riot is teaming up with Summoners Society, and there's going to be, that's at the Sumsog booth. There's going to be a community 1v1 tournament there on Sunday on the main stage. So that's tomorrow. It'll be up to 256 players. There's 52,000 RP in prizes and free skin for every participant. So
might go win
along. Yeah, you could go along.
I feel like we could all enter this one if you want a cheeky tournament victory in there.
Are you on a watch list somewhere though? Isn't that the issue? Yep.
Is it an amateur only tournament?
I mean, are they really going to check?
Might go under an alias.
Yeah. Zach.
E-Gym, I was thinking.
That's a good one too. A massive thank you to our sponsors for making today possible. Of course, McDonald's, the official partner of the OPL. We've got M-Wave, the official retailer of the OPL. We have HyperX, the official headset of the OPL. And Maxibon, the official ice cream in my mouth next week. So thank you very much to everyone for making League Pods. I should make it very clear, Maxibon do not contribute to the OPL, they contribute to AV. I just thought, I was like, I suddenly mixed in a real sponsor and I was like, oh, that could be spicy. But, you know, if you want me to stop doing that, send me a bunch of ice creams. Coming up next, it's the NPL. We're going to be playing at least one Summoner's Rift game, and then potentially a TFT game, depending on how we go on time and what the producers yell in my ear. But I'm definitely buying a Zillion skin. I'm definitely excited about this. So we will see you in a couple of minutes for the NPL.